So you know when you're on a date with a cute guy from your college chemistry class and the professor you've been trying really hard not to have a major crush on walks into the restaurant with his date, and before he sees you and notices how completely jealous you are, he's with another woman after kissing you at a New Year's Eve party a couple weeks ago, you force your eyes back to your date. Because yeah, no one is supposed to know that you kissed your super hot professor before you found out that you were in his class the next week. Especially since your dad is the university president and would totally fire his butt. Anyway, you try to focus back to your date, but instead you only end up half listening to what your date is saying, and the rest of your attention keeps wandering back over to the table where your professor is sitting and wondering if he is on a first date with that gorgeous woman or if he somehow got a girlfriend in the last few weeks since your steamy kiss in that hot tub. And just when you are sipping the spicy broth from your pho, you hear your professor laugh at something his date says, and it completely throws you off, and you end up slurping a little too hard, and the spicy broth shoots right into your eye. And it burns like lava. You try to dab it with your napkin, but nothing is working. And so you rush to the bathroom. But on your way there, you have to go right past your professor's table, and you know it just has to look like you're crying from something your date must have said, which is just great. Eventually, you get the burning to stop, but your makeup is completely ruined, and you know you're going to have to finish your dinner with a really just raccoon eye. So you take a deep breath and head out of the bathroom, hoping to just get through the rest of the night. But the second you step into the hallway, you run smack into someone, and of course, it's him. Your super hot Professor McSteamy. Or is it Dr. McDreamy? I don't really know. Probably both. He sees your face, and then it's all red and flustered, and he asks if your date did something to you, and you say, no, I just burned my eyeball with some chili oil. He steps closer and gets a better look just to make sure you're actually okay, and then he says he's glad nothing happened. He gives you a soft look. It just completely messes with your heart because he's looking like he actually cares about you, which is kind of nice after the last couple of weeks of knowing nothing could ever actually happen between you two, even if you want it. But then you remember that he's on a date, and so you say something stupid about how he should probably go back to his date because he's probably wondering where he went to. He says, no, it's fine. I told her I was running after one of my friends' little sister. You have to ask, you didn't tell her that I'm your student? He says, not exactly. So then you say, right, since it's so hard to remember all your students, which you say because you're a little butthurt over the fact that when your brother brought him to your gymnastics meet over the weekend, he made it seem like he barely remembered having you in class. And then his eyes suddenly go serious and he drops his voice and says, would you rather I told your family that I kissed you in the Hamptons and then I can't stop picturing it every time I see you in class? This scene comes from my book, Wish You Were Mine, which just came out last week, and you can read it in Kindle Unlimited.